My name is Mack McInnis. I'll make it very quick. I know there's a lot of candidates out here tonight. My name is Mack McInnis. I certainly have the experience. Chronicle said I have the temperament and the experience. Board certified in criminal law. In 2004, 2005, Texas Monthly Magazine said I was a super lawyer. And I'm not talking about the people that take out an ad. I'm talking about the people that the editorial staff votes on. I've tried over 300 jury trials, 7 capital murder cases. Nobody got death on my watch. And I've also tried multi-defendant federal conspiracy trials down in Miami. Been practicing law a long time. In 2006, the Houston Chronicle wrote an article about a criminal defense lawyer who's now going to go help the FPS and work for the county attorney's office. I've been working for Vince Ryan ever since then. Really enjoyed working with him, Julie. We are perfect public servants. The changes I would like to make are this. The criminal district courts are run by something called the Judges Board. We all talk about what we're going to try to do, but unless we change that Judges Board, we're not going to be able to do it. Raul knows that. I know that. That Judges Board are the reason why we don't have a pretrial release program, the reason why we don't have court-appointed attorneys at the magistration. That's when you first go before a magistrate. That is why we don't have a fair grand jury system. We're getting there. The local judges didn't do anything. The legislature had to do it. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to get back some of my time, Jill. Thank you so much. My name is Mack. You know me. Look at my website, Mack McInnis. It's easy. It's like the truck. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Raul. I am running for the 174th Criminal District Court. That is a court that's currently, the judge in that court is Ruben Guerrero, and he's retiring. Fairness and equality has sorely been lacking in the criminal district courts for a long, long time. I've been an attorney for 24 years, practicing criminal law, representing clients down at the courthouse. For the past 10 years, I've been an associate judge with the city of Houston. So I have judicial court experience in this particular race. One thing that I want to say is that a judge should be able to bring fairness and equality regardless of race, sex, religion, sexual orientation. And that is what I plan to do. I agree with Mack. There needs to be changes in the criminal district court benches. And if I'm elected, I'm going to help try to make those changes. I've been endorsed by the Texas Coalition of Black Democrats, the Association of Women Attorneys, Mexican American Bar Association, the Latino Peace Officers Union, and the Tejano Democrats. So I appreciate your vote. Raul Rodriguez, 174th Criminal District Court. Thank you.
Good evening. I am Judge Shawna Reagin. As my good friend Judge Wyman would say, I am your returning candidate for the judgeship of the 176th Criminal District Court. I was elected to this bench in 2008. I was unfortunately one of the few Democratic criminal judges that got defeated in 2012. It is easy to dismiss these judgeships, these benches, because you all see us running around this huge old herd. There are so many of us in Harris County that it's very hard to distinguish ourselves, and even among lawyers, very few people know who all the judges are. It's real hard to get the message across to the community at large. But these judges are important. These courts are important because they're actually most people's main contact with the government that they're going to come into. And people they look at the ballot with all these names on them and just write them off. But this primary election is important for many, many reasons. But one of them is, as we all know here, this is the process by which we will elect our standard bearers in November. We can't make it easy for the Republicans by electing people in the primary that are not qualified to serve in the positions that they're running for. I am, in my race, I do have a primary candidate. I am the most qualified candidate. I am a prior judge. I have 26 experience of great depth and breadth. Felony criminal trials, my opponent has never tried one. I've done appeals, I've done habeas, I've handled cases before the Supreme Court of the United States, death penalty capitals on down. It is important. Please not only vote for me yourselves, but get out there and tell everyone you know and educate them as to the importance of these judgeships and tell them who to vote for. Shawna Reagin, 176 Criminal District Court.
Nikita Harmon. I am a candidate for the 176 Criminal District Court. Let me first thank the Meyerland Democrats for inviting us out and giving us an opportunity to speak. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. I am a native Houstonian. I'm a graduate of Texas Southern University and Thurgood Marshall School of Law. I have been an attorney now for 25 years, and for 10 years I litigated cases for AVDA, Aid to Victims of Domestic Abuse. I litigated cases for battered women. I did protect the rights of the children, the rights of the mothers. And I'm here today and I'm asking for your support. For the last 15 years, I have been an associate judge with the City of Houston. In that capacity, I have presided over thousands of bench and jury trials. So I bring the experience necessary on day one to preside over the cases. A lot of candidates get up and they talk about, oh, I've done this as an attorney and I've done this. I'm not running to be an attorney. I'm not asking you to vote for me to be an attorney for the 176. I want to be the judge. Judges should treat everyone that comes to a courtroom with dignity and with respect. And a lot of times people get on the bench and they forget about that. They throw that clean out the window. They forget about people's rights. So that is one thing that I promise to do. That's what I've always done. And that is one of the things that I have a known reputation of treating people with dignity and respect, and with applying the law fairly to everyone that comes before my courtroom. So again, I ask for your support. Vote Nikita Nikki Harmon, the candidate that promises to be fair, formed, focused. Nikita Nikki Harmon for the 176 Harris County Criminal District Court.
Appreciate you having us out here tonight. Three things that this group needs to look at for all the judicial candidates. Who's the best Democrat? Who's the most experienced Democrat, and who's the person that is going to be the best candidate in November. Okay, first thing, I'm a lifelong Democrat. My parents were committee people. I remember growing up with Democratic meetings in my house. I've been a Democrat my whole life, never voted for a Republican in a national or statewide election. Number two, experience. I spent 2.5 years at the Court of Appeals, 6 years as an assistant district attorney in Harris County, and 25 years in private practice handling primarily criminal defense matters or criminal cases. I've handled over 5,000 criminal cases. I've handled serious felony cases. Why is experience important? Experience important is because a criminal district court is the top trial court in the state of Texas. It handles the most serious of all cases. Capital murders, rapes, robberies, child molestation, bad cases. You need judges that have tried those cases in order to be, to properly call balls and strikes and not make mistakes. These are cases that cannot be messed up. My opponent has not tried serious felony cases. Endorsements. I'm going to read them to you because I would forget them if I didn't read them to you. Houston Chronicle endorsed me, Harris County AFL-CIO, Area 5 Democrats, Association of Women Attorneys, Tejano Democrats, GLBT Caucus, Baptist Ministers Association of Houston, Stonewall Young Democrats, Bay Area New Democrats. As you can see, I've gotten most of the Democrats. The last thing is who's going to be the most electable candidate in November. Ryan Patrick is the judge of this court, Dan Patrick's son. He came to the bench after being appointed to the bench after being a lawyer for 5 years. If you elect my opponent, he has about the same amount of experience. As a matter of fact, Ryan can make the case that he has more experience. I have more experience than both of them put together. Please elect an experienced judge, David Singer, for the 177th Criminal District Court.
Well, thank you. It's truly an honor and a pleasure to be here this evening, and I want to thank Art for putting this event on. And I am very, very familiar with the Meyerland community because, number one, let me get this microphone correct. I went to Shawna Elementary School back in the 70s, and I also graduated from Persian Middle School. So I'm very, very familiar with the Meyerland community. My name is Robert Johnson, and I'd like to be your criminal judge here in Harris County. I'm running for the 177th Criminal District Court. And I want to remind everyone, early voting does start tomorrow, and it runs until the 26th, and again, Election Day is on Tuesday, March the 1st. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. I've been living here in this county for the past 40 years. I've been a resident of Harris County. I graduated from the University of Houston back in 1990. I went to law school at Thurgood Marshall School of Law back in 2001. I graduated with honors. I have 13 years of experience in the area of criminal law. I've tried cases in Harris County, jury trials, and in other counties. And it would truly be an honor to be your judge. And we need judges on the benches in Harris County desperately that have integrity, that have experience, but most importantly will treat everyone fairly that comes before them. And let me talk a little bit about the position that I'm running for, judge. A judge does not try cases, ladies and gentlemen. A judge presides over cases. A judge rules on matters of law. So what you want from your judge is that you want your judge to be competent in the Texas Rules of Evidence, the Code of Criminal Procedure, the U.S. Constitution, the Texas Constitution, specifically the 4th Amendment, the 5th Amendment, the 6th Amendment, and sometimes the 8th Amendment, and also the Texas Penal Code. So if a judge runs across a situation, I'm sorry, I got 30 minutes left. If a judge runs 30 seconds, I'm sorry, not 30 minutes, 30 seconds. See, I'm trying to get some more time here. If a judge happens to run across a situation where the statute is silent, then he has to refer to case law. And the case law he or she refers to, it has to be good case law. So I do have the experience, I do have the resources and the ability to take Ryan Patrick on. I've gotten several endorsements myself from various organizations, but it's not really about the endorsements, it's about me. And I am truly, it would be an honor to get your vote and your support. My name is Robert Johnson, and I'm running for the 177th Criminal District Court. Thank you.
Good evening. Is anyone tired yet? Okay. My name is Kelli Johnson. I'm running for the 178th Criminal District Court. I can tell you that I'm from a small town. I grew up being dragged to Democratic conventions all my life. I worked for the Bill Clinton White House, so I feel like this is full circle. I was on his press travel advance team around the world, and as a young person, let me tell you, it lit up my world. And that is an experience that has just gathered me throughout my adulthood from the road that my parents set me on in the beginning when I used to go to the Democratic conventions. I've been in the criminal area for 17 years. I'm a prosecutor. I wanted to first be a lobbyist, and I started being an advocate as a prosecutor, and I saw the disparity that we're having in our justice system. You've heard a lot about that tonight. But what I've seen, I know what works and what doesn't. And what I've seen is that people get set for trial, especially the nonviolent offenders who have boring cases, who don't get the attention, who have maybe lawyers that don't stand up for them. They're not a media case. They will lay dormant and forgotten for 5 years, set for trial, waiting for their chance to be heard. What we need in Harris County that I see every single day down there is we don't have judges who care. We don't have judges who are proactive in the docket. And every court needs, there's 22 criminal district courts in Harris County, Texas. These are people and citizens who are charged with crimes that deserve the rights of the people, right? The victims and the suspects. So as a judge, I intend to restore that dignity to courts, and I hope that you'll remember tomorrow, February 16th, get out there and vote. And thank you. I'm Kelli Johnson, the 178th Criminal District.
Democrats,
Thank
you
you.
all look thrilled to hear from another judicial candidate. Imagine me, I've heard all of these speeches before. Any event, enough humor. My name's Stephen Aslett. I'm running for the 179th District Court. It's a criminal district court that tries everything from capital murder all the way down to less than a gram of cocaine, any type of felony. A little bit about myself. I graduated from Rice University. After that, I worked as a high school teacher. I went to law school, and out of law school, which has been almost 10 years now, it feels like, and has been, I've worked as a prosecutor for the Harris County District Attorney's Office. It has been a privilege and honor to speak for crime victims and to get to meet people from all walks of life in Harris County. I can assure you if I were not here tonight, I would be probably in Channelview or Greens Point or Sharpstown speaking to somebody who has had something terrible happen to them or has witnessed something terrible. Places that I can tell you that I probably would never have gone had I not been a prosecutor. The reason I am running is because I have been disturbed by some things that I've seen down at the courthouse, and I'm tired of having the same sorts of conversations with victims that I've had. I'm sorry that this horrible thing happened to you. It's going to take 3 or 4 years before your case gets to trial. I'm sorry this person did something terrible to you, but he's bonded out and he has reoffended again because the bond was too low. So why am I running? We've got 3 problems. Problem number 1, we don't try enough cases, we don't try them fast enough. There's a huge disparity between the courts. The court that tries the most cases in the last 3 years tried over 100. The one that tried the fewest tried 30. Why? Because it depends on who the judge is. I will try cases and try them fast. 179th is headed in the wrong direction. Problem number 2 is that we have a bond schedule that does not reflect the real world. If you get caught your 3rd time with a crack rock, that is less time, that is triple the bond than if I beat up a 70-year-old woman, okay? If I shoot you 6 times, that is a lower bond than if I had a 1/4 kilo of cocaine. Our bond schedule needs dramatic reform. And finally, one thing that I find is that every judge will say that they can be fair and do a good job. How do you know that I'm going to be a good judge or be fair? You have no information. We keep statistics down at the courthouse on how many people try cases, how long the cases take to get to disposition, and disparities in sentencing between crimes. All of this stuff is publicly available. It's easy to put it online. You just need somebody to do it. I think that we all deserve more information about our courts, and that's something I can provide. Anyway, these kinds of things that I want to do, I think, is why I have been fortunate enough to be endorsed by the Houston Chronicle. I would ask for your support and your vote starting tomorrow. Please tell your friends and family. Stephen Aslett, 179th District Court.
Good evening, everyone. Raul, former judge of the 179th District Court, the court that we are both running for. I was elected in 2008 along with 5 other Democrats, Judge Reagin and Judge Ritchie and some others, and we changed the courthouse. We went in there and we were progressive. I had a standing order that people that came into my court would get a pretrial release bond if they were on a non-violent first-time felony. We reduced the overcrowding in the jails by a lot. They didn't have a problem the first 2 or 3 years when we were there, but now they backslid and they're doing it again. They have high bonds. That is one thing we do agree on, that the bond schedule must be changed. A person can be charged with killing someone and get a $35,000 bond, and they could have a drug possession and it would be $1 million bond. Something's wrong there. I am the only Democrat in this race, ladies and gentlemen. I have a long history of voting as a Democrat here, not just 4 years. And I have 28 years as a lawyer working criminal cases in this court and in this county. I ask for your help and I ask for your vote and your endorsement. Raul, 179th Criminal District Court. Thank you.